If every time you stretch your hamstrings, you feel tightness at the back of the knee, then you might not actually be stretching your hamstrings. Instead, you might be experiencing what we call increased neural tension as the nerve goes down through the back of your knee. And it goes without saying that if your main goal is to improve your hamstring flexibility, or you just want that sensation to go away, just stretching your hamstrings on their own may never get you to where you want to be. So in this video, I want to show you what you may actually need to do to improve the neural tension in the area, and then what you may need to tweak with your hamstring stretches to make sure that you feel it where it should be in the belly of that muscle at the back of your thigh. So let's get into it. So for those unaware, the sciatic nerve comes from the base of your spine, goes down through your butt cheeks, down the back of your legs through your hamstrings, and down through the back of that knee. The common misconception is that your hamstrings sit at the back of the knee in the middle. They don't. Those hamstring muscles deviate off to the side as they turn into tendons and wrap around the outer sides of the back of the knee, as does your calf muscle as it comes up to attach above the knee. And apart from a few little soft tissue things at the back of the knee, there isn't too much there that tends to be stretched when you're trying to do that typical hamstring stretch other than the sciatic nerve. And the most important thing about neural tissue, and especially that sciatic nerve, is that neural tissue doesn't stretch. It's not like muscular tissue or fascia or tendons that have some kind of elastic give in the system. Our nervous system is a fixed length. And when you do the things that you need to do with your body, that tissue doesn't stretch, but it should floss and slide and glide through all of the soft tissue channels that all that tissue passes through. But if you accrue some dysfunction in your lower back and that becomes a little bit tight, or something about your glutes becomes a little bit tight as well, then you can very easily pull a bunch of neural slack out of the system, which then makes things like trying to then access that hamstring with a hamstring stretch all the more difficult. So the first exercise we're going to go through is a very simple back mobility exercise. This one we go through on the channel all the time. We're going to look for those tightnesses from above, and then we're going to work our way down the chain, and then we're going to go through perhaps the most popular nerve glide exercise that I've seen to see which one gives you the best benefits. So once you've established a really clear baseline of how the back of your leg feels when you stretch your hamstrings, the first place we want to start to try and feed some slack back into that system from above is to check out if you have any hidden restrictions through your lower back from about the base of your rib cage down. What I would like you to do with a lacrosse ball, a tennis ball, or in this case a foam roller, we're going to start hunting from the base of your rib cage down. Place the roller in there, recline back over the top of it. You can have your hips on the ground, your hands behind your neck. You can just gently roll up or down until you find a tight spot, and then you can just hang out here for 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes. I do prefer you to roll slightly to one side just to see how the joints are on that side, and then compare it to the same spot on the other side to see which side you feel is softer versus which side is harder. Clearly, we want to spend more time on the side that feels harder, just asking the ball or the roller to respectfully push into those joints and the soft tissues, and respectfully ask them to give and release and relax over time. If this position doesn't feel good enough for you, the other way that you can do it is to bridge up, have your head on the ground, head and shoulders on the ground, and from here you can just drop your hips down to find the tension from underneath. Again, you still need to be on one side more than the other, and then keep repeating that process as you segmentally work down and down and down until you get down to the base of that spine, just at the top of that pelvis. Spend the most time on the spots that you feel are the most restricted. They may not be tender, they may not be sore, especially if you don't have back pain at the moment. We're looking for that sense of stiffness and tightness. And then as mentioned, once you spend a little bit of time hunting around and freeing up anything that you find, immediately reassess the exact same movement that you did before that alerted you to how that tension at the back of your knee felt. And if your lower back is contributing to pulling a bunch of slack out of that system from above, not only should you feel like you can go further than you could before, but I would argue that that tension at the back of your knee might feel a little bit better than it did before as well. And as we're starting to piece this together for you, the next thing that we want to focus on is we want to start working down the chain, go looking for any hidden tightnesses in your butt cheek. So once you spend some time hunting around your back and freeing up anything that you find so that you can feed some slack into the nervous system from above, the next place we want to turn to is to find some tightness at the back of that butt cheek. Depending on the person, that sciatic nerve can either pass through the piriformis or be just alongside it. So what I would urge you to do is, if you can sit down on a chair, however you feel comfortable, and just put your leg up into this position. If this is a little bit challenging, you can certainly be on a higher surface, or you can drop your front leg down a little bit more just to make it easy to get up here. How I would like you to do this is being up nice and tall from your hips, trying to keep your back straight. We just want you to hinge forwards as far as you feel comfortable until you find a healthy tightness through the middle of that butt cheek, about where your back pocket would be. From here, you can just lightly twist your trunk towards your knee. You can lightly twist your trunk towards your foot and just try and find which angle gives you the best access to that tightness at the back of your hip. And then if you can, try and actively tense up that tightness for 10 seconds. It creates that reflex that when you stop tensing, the tissue will physically give a little bit, which means that you should immediately be able to go that little bit further into the stretch than you could before. And then we just want to spend some time hunting around for that tightness again. Squeeze it for 10 seconds, get it to work, create that reflex so that when that tissue gives a little bit, you'll be able to go that little bit further again. And then when you stand up and walk around, not only should you feel a little bit lighter and a little bit looser through there straight away, but like we showed you with the back exercise, in a perfect world, if you do the exact same movement again, you should feel like you can then start to get down a little bit deeper than you could before, but more importantly, perhaps the tightness is less at the back of your knee. It now feels like it's more directly in the back of that thigh. And then depending on how you feel you respond to that, the next thing that we want to go through is a nerve gliding exercise to see if we can shear free any of those hidden restrictions that might be impacting how much tension's in the system. For me, the best nerve gliding or nerve flossing exercise I've ever seen is the elephant walk. And all you need is a seat or a bench top. I'd recommend, if you haven't done it before, start relatively high on like a kitchen bench. But if you've done it a little bit before, you can progress down lower and lower. So for me, I'll do it on this bench here. I'm gonna come down and rest my arms on the bench. The goal here is to straighten your legs as far as you feel comfortable. I want you to bend far enough forward so you feel some of that light tension at the back of your knee. And from here, all we're looking to do is to bend one knee to take the slack out of that side. And as you bend that knee, we want to make sure we straighten the other leg. And all an elephant walk is we're just oscillating between the two. But what we want to focus on is when we're doing this and when that leg straightens, we almost want to shift our hip kind of back into that area to, again, increase the tension in the system. But remember, we're not trying to stretch this tissue because we can't. It won't stretch. But we do need to floss or glide that neural tissue through all the channels that it passes through to restore some normal function and normal feeling to that area. Again, you're welcome to sort of lightly twist your back as you do this. It's actually a really nice way to mobilize your lower back as well. But I would ask that you do 10 or 15 of these, knowing that as you do this more and more, you will find that it should start to feel looser and looser the more you do this. So eventually, wherever you start, you should feel you can start to get down lower and lower before you feel like you've run into that same level of neural tightness through the back of that knee. And then again, once you've done that, you should feel a little bit lighter straight away. But then when you come back to that exact same hamstring stretch that you're used to, as you lean forwards again, you should feel like there's instantly less tension at the back of that knee and a stronger focus on the tissue at the back of that thigh. And interestingly, if you are stretching your hamstrings and despite all of that, you still feel some degree of tension through the back of your knee more than the back of your thigh, then there's one little tweak that you need to think of to make this exercise infinitely better for you so that you can genuinely stretch those hamstrings. So once we've started to account for that neural tension at the back of the leg, we still need to make sure that when you're trying to stretch your hamstrings, that you're doing it the best way possible. And for me, I still prefer convenience and simplicity over everything. All I would ask you to do to make this stretch infinitely better is just have a little bit of a bend in your knee. This takes out some of that neural tension so that when you keep your back straight and hinge forwards from your hips, you should more readily feel a decent amount of tightness at the back of that thigh, right in the heart of that muscle. And then ultimately, once that neural tension is accounted for and you introduce that contract, relax stretching, you should feel an immediate improvement in how flexible your hamstrings feel, maybe for the first time if you've always felt like you've had tight hamstrings. So as always, I genuinely hope that that was helpful. If it was, let me know in the comments down below. Please leave a like on the video, consider hitting that hype button so the video gets out to more people. If you want more videos from me, I post every week, so please subscribe to the channel. Consider becoming a member if you want more exclusive content from me and extended versions of a lot of the videos that I put out. But as always, I do genuinely hope that that was helpful and insightful and maybe a slight change in your perspective about what tightness at the back of your knee might actually be. But as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.